Hi everyone, welcome to Sugar and Spices. Okay, today I'm planning to do puri for dinner, but to make it a healthy puri, I use atta flour, okay, or whole wheat flour, all right, and a quarter cup of suji flour, okay, or rava flour. This suji flour or rava flour will make your puri nice and crispy, and atta flour will make it healthy. Many people say that atta flour may not taste nice, or it's better with maida flour or just normal flour. But try this recipe and tell me how you find it. The puri will be nice and crispy, at the same time soft, and at the same time, even though it's fried, but at least it's a bit healthy. Okay, so let's go to the recipe. Okay, you will need 2 cups of atta flour, this now was a bit less, I just top it up. 2 cups of atta flour. All right, that's about 2 cups, yeah. And then suji, that's a quarter cup of suji or rava. Okay, and you need a pinch of salt. Okay, just a pinch of salt. And this is the secret ingredient. You don't need much, but you will need just a small amount, maybe around a teaspoon of sugar. Okay, that's it. Now we're going to start kneading the flour. I forgot to mention, you need to add on just a splash of oil, just a splash, not much. Okay, that's it. And then we can start kneading. Yeah, now when you knead the flour, you need to add on your water. First you take 1 cup of water and you splash little by little, and you knead as you go, so that you will know the texture of the dough. Yeah, okay, so you just put a bit of a splash, just a little, sorry. Add on a little more. You keep on going like that until you get a nice dough, which I'll show you shortly. After wrestling with the oil for some time, after wrestling with the dough for some time, you will get such a texture. Okay, you have a look at it. Can you see it's all grainy? Okay, so this is not done. Okay, because the gluten in the flour is not yet released, so that's why it looks like this. Can you see the texture? So now at this point, what you must do, you can drizzle just a little bit cooking oil. Okay, just a little bit, and you knead the flour again. Okay, I'll knead it and show it to you guys. Yeah, you'll be able to see now the flour. I'll take it up for you. The dough is much more smoother. Okay, and when you do puri flour, you need to let it rest for a while. So when you rest it, when you ball it up, be nice. I'll show it to you guys. So now Let me finish kneading it. So now you can see the dough is now resting. Okay, it's got a nice texture. It shouldn't be too soft like for a chapati. It should be slightly more tougher because it needs to hold the heat. Yeah, so what we do, we drizzle a bit more oil. And this portion we have to do so that the flour doesn't form a crust, a hard crust or a dry crust around it as it's resting. Okay, so it needs to be nice and moist. Okay, so this is how your dough will look after you have kneaded it well. Take a kitchen towel. You don't need to wet it, just close it up nicely and leave it to rest. So guys, see, after sitting the dough for about half an hour, it's nice and easy to work with, you see. Yeah, so what you must do, make into balls. So you can see we make ourselves some lime size ball, not lemon size balls, lime size balls, and then you keep it aside. Okay, make sure you work with your dough fast so that it doesn't dry. Next, this is something I want to tell you guys about. This is my mother's Poori maker, which I think it's a great investment if you guys can do it. Go and buy it in any Indian shops, they sell it. You don't have to sit and make a round Poori. You can just put it in and press it in, and it's awesome. Those of you who have this, I think you know what I mean. It's an awesome investment. It doesn't cost much, and this is, you can pass it on to generations. This is from my mother. So you just oil it slightly. Another trick is for Poori, you don't use flour so much like as for chapati, because why? When you're frying it, you don't want your oil to turn black. So you only use oil and you don't use flour. Okay, so you take a nice ball like that, put it in the middle, press. This is your gym time. So during lockdowns, those of you who are not exercising, this is the time. Press your Poori down. Okay, couple of times until you get it. It shouldn't be too thin. It shouldn't be too thick. This is a perfect Poori thickness. It shouldn't be too thin because it becomes too crispy if it's thin. This is a perfect one. Like that. Let me do a few and I'll come back to you guys. The trick to frying Poori, your oil must be very hot. It shouldn't be half hot or semi-hot. It has to be very hot. Put slight pressure on the top and your Poori will bulge up. And you don't have to spend too much of time. Take it off. See it puffing. Pooris, you don't have to fry too long because they cook quite quickly. So this is our hot, fluffy golden puri. Okay, see how soft and tender and cooked it is. And you saw just now how fast we cooked it. So it's all so aerated and nice and fluffy. It's not heavy. Okay, so this is how your puri should be. Nice and puffed up. And puri goes well with the famous sambal sardine. And some dal. Any sort of dal or sambar you can make. These two is a perfect combination. Obviously, when we talk about puri, we also talk about mashed potatoes masala, potato masala, but this is the other option you have. Here you go. Whole wheat atta puri for dinner.